We start the evening session with the women's Omnium scratch race. 30 laps for the scratch race to get things underway.
Katie Archbold, the Great Britain rider, fresh off form from the European Championship. She won this event there, the Omnium and the scratch race within the Omnium. She's just testing a few legs there, just accelerating and seeing what happens behind.
I'll come around to get 8 laps to go. All of the riders at the top of the track now. And if there's anyone really not wanting to wait for that final sprint, this would have been the moment to go on the attack.
And this is where positioning is so important. Georgia Baker in the green and gold for Australia also moving up. And this is where it really matters, because if you lose your positioning with only 2 laps to go, it's very difficult to get back.
And they'll get the bell when they come around this time, and it's Katie Archbold in a drag race against Lara Gillespie. Here it is now, the last lap, and Archbold's been on the front for a lap and a half now. This is going to be really difficult to sustain this. Georgia Baker in second position as Gillespie starts to fade. Wollaston up around the outside, and Ali Wollaston, 2 gold medals already this weekend, and she's going to start off the Omnium in fine form by winning the scratch race. It's ahead of Katie Archbold and Georgia Baker. Tsuyaka Uchino from Japan in 4th place. Will be into the second of the 4-discipline event that is known as the Omnium. 30 laps of the track and the tempo race. So they have 4 laps to ride into the race before they do start the intermediate sprints. And there's the bell to signify the tempo points are now available. 1 point for the leader across the line every time.
Getting any points at all. We saw in the men's 24 riders, 40 laps, only 11 points. Katie Archbold picking up her first point, so points on every lap here.
And Archbold swung up and has gone back down to go and get the next point that's on offer. So Katie Archbold signalling very early on her intent, and she's opened up a bit of a gap here. She hasn't noticed yet, so she wasn't really looking at where the rest of the peloton was. Now she realised she has another opportunity to get another point. This will be 3 for her, and she'll take a nice little handy lead very early on with 21 laps to go. There's a real even mix, a real even spread as we see Fidanza coming up around to pick up 1 point. So that's another rider that is earning her first point. And there has been a split of the peloton here, so they are in 2 halves. The second half really need to be careful because they're going to be out of this race as we see.
Reasonably significant gap has opened up between the front half and the second half of the peloton. Aussie Georgia Baker, who was so good in the scratch race, she's stuck in that second group.
We see Kajihara pick up another point, so she's really doing a great job here. As we see Nia Evans now coming out towards her. Now, the black colours we just saw flash into the back of the picture, that's Ali Wollaston from New Zealand. She has jumped out of the second group to try and get across to the front, because there is a real danger here of all of these riders are out in front, going around taking a lap on the rest of the field. They'll all be given 20 points for gaining a lap. So this is going to be crucial in the overall standings. And Ali Wollaston saw the danger and is trying to rectify that. She has now made her way across. Now, 2 riders have got onto the back of the peloton. Almost about the same size, these 2 groups. But Kachihara and Evans, they're at the back of the group there, so they are the 2 riders that have gained a lap, so they'll go up to first and second in the overall standings. But the rest of that group is about to come on board now as well. Here they come.
And they have an opportunity when they do take the lap to have a bit of a rest, put themselves in a good position. So they've just made the catch. Now, Ali Wollaston was given the point for that lap because they weren't quite on yet, and she rolled over the line in the front. That was smart from her to sneak an extra point.
The 10 riders that were off the front have now been given 1 lap up. 6 laps to go. They haven't made the lap gain adjustment to the points just yet. And some real close calls happening here as well. Martins from Portugal has popped off the front, so she gets that 1 point. And Wollaston desperate now to try and pick up some points and try and maximise her position here in the tempo race. So Ali Wollaston will come over to pick up a point with 2 laps to go. Can she go on and pick up the next 2 sprints? Just a reminder, they have not updated the lap gain and the 20 points that each rider gets for doing so.
But Wollaston, a great job. She's now picked up 2 points, and if she keeps going, she'll be able to pick up a 3rd, and that will jettison her up to second position overall. And after the win in the scratch race, that will put her on quite a handy lead.
So Wollaston comes across to pick up the final points, and the overall standings now after 2 disciplines within the Omnium race. Ali Wollaston comes away, 78 points, overall lead, only 4 points ahead of Katie Archibald, so that's going to be a fantastic battle over the next couple of events. Women's Omnium elimination race, 3rd leg of the Omnium event. Ali Wollaston leads the way at the moment. Seated number 1, that's why she sits at the top of the track in position number 1 down the bottom, 2nd place overall, Katie Archibald. And we are underway. Last rider across the line on every 2nd lap will be eliminated. And Mexico right at the very back there in a bit of danger. Acevedo very high on the track. And while she's last, she's got some room to go up around the outside, so maybe you can focus down the bottom a little bit more when there's a rush from up above, or maybe a very nervous rider.
Shea Wei Ling is in a dangerous spot, the rider from Hong Kong.
Oh, Stenberg, the European champion. Wow, that's a big one. 2nd rider to go out, the European champion.
I mean, it's a reminder for Stenberg that often the most dangerous position is not actually at the top or the bottom, it's in the middle. Katie Archibald in a bit of a precarious situation in the middle there too now. She'll have to pull out the back and move around to stay out of trouble. Oh, Fidanza, the Italian rider. She was the World Scratch Race champion in 2022. She is fighting to get the Omnium spot for the Olympics.
Jennifer Valente, the world champion, 2nd last from the back. And she moves her way up around the outside. Will she drag Coles Lister with her? Yes, indeed. Balashita is in danger now.
Katie Archibald holding a better position at the front now. The Aussie Georgia Baker has been consistently up the front. Coles Lister will need to get on the move because Valente and Wollaston not wanting to be caught out. Can Baker get out of this box that she's just been put in? She's
Look over
got
the shoulder.
freedom to do so.
Look over the shoulder there from Georgia Baker. She will survive. And it might have been Coles Lister at the very top. Nia Evans was pretty close as well. So Nia Evans it was that is out. Wollaston, the New Zealander, high up around the outside, comfortably again. And Kachihara, the Asian Continental Champion, is the next one to go. 6 riders remain. Wollaston, Coles Lister, Valente, and Georgia Baker, Katie Archibald, and Jiali Liu from China. The red colours down the bottom. But now the rider from China really in a bit of trouble, and you can just see labouring down the back straight. So this is an easy one to pick as we see Jiali Liu, the next one to go out. High on the track as they come into this elimination lap. First one to dive down was Coles Lister from Canada, so she'll stay in the race, but Ali Wollaston in a bit of trouble. Can she get over the top of Katie Archibald? 2 of the big pre-race favourites, 1st and 2nd overall. One of them may be going out, or is it Georgia Baker? Georgia Baker it is, the Australians.
4 riders left, but Coles Lister has self-eliminated essentially here. She's had enough. She's off the back now.
And good that all 3 riders out in front realised that Coles Lister had given up and they weren't sprinting for no reason.
These are our 3 top-ranked riders coming in. The Olympic champion, the world champion, the European champion from last year. Oh, a bit of aggression, bit of a shoulder barge from Katie Archibald to Valente.
And it's Valente that dives down. Wollaston in a really good position there. She was in a little bit of danger at the bell in 3rd position, but picked the gap, went through, and she will hold on, and it may be Archibald that will go, and it will be Katie Archibald. So now we're down to 2. The world champion against the New Zealander, Jennifer Valente from the United States of America, up against Ali Wollaston. The final lap now, final elimination. And Wollaston, she's already won an elimination this weekend. We're into the final lap now, and Wollaston dives down the track. It's a really short sprint, this one. Wollaston with the best legs at the end of the women's elimination in the Omnium, and she will pick up the maximum of 40 points and extend her overall lead with only the points race still to come. Fantastic riding there from Ali Wollaston ahead of Jennifer Valente and Katie Archibald. So the final discipline of the Omnium points race, they start with those points, and Ali Wollaston sits on 116. 80 laps of the track to finish off the competition here in Adelaide.
points race at the end of an Omnium, they're a different beast to a standalone points race. So we don't expect them to go out all guns blazing in this first couple of laps.
About a little bit too far back to go for this sprint. As we look at the front, it's Gillespie that leads the way. Then it's Stenberg in the European Champions colours. Katie Archibald is boxed in on the inside. She's looking for a gap to try and move out and go around. Now it's opened up a little bit, but it's a fight between Gillespie and Stenberg. And I think Gillespie may have just held on for that. Yes, she has. So Lara Gillespie from Ireland gets the 5 points, first of the 5-pointers on offer. Maggie Coles-Lister from Canada will hear the bell first as she comes through. Look over the shoulder to see who's on the wheel. She'll see the world champion there. She'll know she needs to kick pretty hard down the back straight to hold her off. And we can see a few more flyers coming, and right up around the outside is Ali Wollaston. She'll get a good run down the finishing straight here. It might be a little bit too late. No, very tight between Wollaston and Valente. Good move here, though, from Georgia Baker. So she's gone across with this initial attack, and that may cause a bit of a scramble from Wollaston, Archibald, Valente, who are first, second and third overall.
When Valente, with the world champion stripe, sitting in third going into this event, when she moves, Wollaston and Archibald have to move as well.
Archibald up round the outside. So Katie Archibald, this will close up the overall standings. So that will put her right to the very top, tied with Ali Wollaston. So both those riders on 119 points. The Kajihara, she'll lead into this sprint, and Archibald up around the outside as well. So this is a real fight between the top contenders here. Ali Wollaston dropped the shoulder into Archibald to move her, and Georgia Baker comes back in as well. So 3 of the top 4 riders here fighting for the points, and Wollaston will get the 5 points. So that'll put her clearly back up in front of Katie Archibald.
She tried to come up the side onto the hip of Wollaston and box her in, but she didn't quite have the gas to do it. Really good positioning from the Australian Baker.
Nia Evans, I did mention at the start, might be a rider that'll be looking to try and gain a lap on the field and move herself up. She's on 70 points, sitting in 8th place, and now she finds herself about a quarter of a lap up on the field with 35 laps to go. The peloton have eased up, and we pan back because we can see Nia Evans now coming into the same shot as the rear of the peloton. She has had the bell rung at 31 laps to go, so she will pick up the points now regardless of whether she catches the peloton or not. So she will get the 25 points on offer, and she is right up into the bronze medal spot.
Yeah, that's a sensational ride. Valente has been absolutely caught napping.
And Stenberg from Norway, the European champion, trying to pick up the 1 point for 4th place. So another 3 points there for Archibald. That'll put her 1 point off the gold medal position. But Nia Evans should be up into equal 3rd position once they correct the points.
Well, certainly great ride from Evans.
It will be coming around to get a sprint. So Valente now, she knows she needs to pick up some points. She can see where she stands on the big scoreboard here in the Adelaide Superdrome. Jiali Liu from China has gone over the top, so that will help Valente as well. She can get in the slipstream, see if she can come up around the outside and pick up the 5 points. She's fighting shoulder to shoulder. This is USA versus China, and USA come out on top. 15 points still on offer, 1 point separate first and second at the moment. The gap back to Valente, 23 points, so that's out of the question now. So a real fight in 2 here for the gold medal and a fight for the bronze. Wollaston versus Archibald for gold and silver, Valente versus Evans for the bronze. Wollaston will be happy to let this one go away and take all the points. She's got a 1 point advantage over Archibald. Valente the same. She's got 5 points over Evans for 3rd. And now Nia Evans on the attack, so this may cause a reaction.
So Evans is in a plumb position to pick some extra points up here.
She's going to go straight around the outside here. They'll start sprinting for this, but Nia Evans has been going for quite some time, but she's got the momentum. So Nia Evans is going to pick up the 5 points in the penultimate sprint. Jen Valente is back in the peloton, so that puts her on 100 points, equal 3rd place.
Whoever is the first across the line will take the bronze medal.
Well, Katie Archibald needs these 4 riders, or at least one of them, to get caught. Ali Wollaston, she'll be happy to leave them out there. They've got still 4 riders out in front. 4 positions left for the points. Double points on this final sprint with 6 laps to go. Kachihara has gone out on her own.
But Evans is still out the front there. There we can see her in shot. She will take this bronze medal if this continues, because she just needs to beat Valente over the line. She doesn't even need to get points.
And Katie Archibald trying to come across, but she has Wollaston on the wheel. So these two here, 1 point the difference in the overall standings. But Wollaston has been cruising on the wheel of Archibald all the way since Katie attacked. And we see these are the two leaders out in front. They are chasing the 10 points, the 6 points. Archibald goes over the top of Nia Evans, and just behind Nia Evans is Jen Valente. There's Valente just coming into the shot at the back. She's trying to get herself in front of Nia Evans to pick up the bronze medal. That's all she has to do. Doesn't even require points, just has to cross the line in front of Nia Evans. And Wollaston has now been unleashed as she's come off the back wheel of Katie Archibald. Doesn't need to, but she can, so she will. And Ali Wollaston will pick up the 10 points for the final sprint and take out the overall title here in the women's Omnium. And we look back to Valente and Nia Evans. Valente has crossed the line in front of Nia Evans, so she will take the bronze medal away from a courageous Evans who picked up the penultimate sprint. There's your Omnium winner. Ali Wollaston does it. Silver goes to Katie Archibald, and Jen Valente from USA, the world champ, will get the bronze.